Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Roll Jump Media Podcast. I am your host, Ray, and joining me are my co hosts, Andres, and our recurring panelists, Jose and Luis. For a preview of what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about Paper Mario, the Origami King, Ghost of Tsushima, the Unreal Engine 5 demo, and Square Enix's plans to unveil their upcoming games. As well as some announced games that got announced last week, but we're going to go over those shortly. Um, I already introduced everybody, so you already guys, people that have already watched the podcast, already know how this works. First thing we do is talk about what we've been playing, and sometimes the games don't change from week to week depending on what's going on. So go ahead, guys. What have you guys been playing?
All right, so uh, I haven't really been playing anything new. Uh, Last week I said I've been playing the Uncharted games.
Uh
I
huh.
don't think I've touched the Uncharted games since last Saturday, I think. I haven't really been gaming this week. Just a few minutes on Animal Crossing every day. Just getting my Nook Miles in.
Yeah.
Um, but, it's been like a really slow week for gaming for me, at least.
It's understandable. Things come up. You gotta take care of priorities
Yeah.
first. No problem. No problem. So Uncharted, do you want to go back to Uncharted or is that a one and done deal?
No, I've been wanting to get back to it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just don't have the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And, I've been wanting to try Apex, the new season,
Yeah, yeah.
because I know that's happening. But yeah, like I said, I haven't really had time to get into it. But yeah, last week I said I started Uncharted 2, so I've been wanting to go back to it. I wanna play the trilogy at least, maybe the fourth one, but yeah, this week hasn't been my week.
Yeah, well, all the Uncharted games are really good, so that should be a
Yeah.
fun time. And for
Hmm.
Apex, I mean, hopefully we can find time this weekend to play it. There's one change that I want to share with you that I was just playing around last night with it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's different. So, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for me, I've been playing. I mean, I'm still playing Animal Crossing. Nothing has really changed.
I think we all are just we're all playing Animal Crossing, which is good,
Yeah,
which is
well,
fun.
except you, Ray.
Well, yeah, I
Except for
barely
you.
qualify. I barely qualify.
Um, so I mean, but I mean, it's been keeping me entertained. Um, I finally got my fifth room yesterday. I've been really slow. Yeah, the basement. Um, Progress has been really slow for me, but I'm getting there.
You know what? Like
Um,
when the game first came out, it was so easy to make money. Like I literally had like I had expanded my house fully like within 1 week. It's so easy to make money. Well, at least it was at the start. I don't know how you guys are barely like getting like addicts and stuff like that. Y'all are really slow.
well, I guess because we were trying to like figure out how the game works. You're a veteran. You're an Animal Crossing veteran, so
That's true.
we broke the rocks exactly. The first
Foolishness.
day. But yeah, I mean that's been keeping me entertained. But I do feel like I've reached like a plateau where like my interest is kind of just
Waiting.
flat lined. Um,
Yeah, you had Mystery
so
Dungeon there for a little while.
yeah, and I mean I passed that and that was it. I have been getting back into Pokemon Sword, but just for like a few short intervals, just um some raids here and there. But I'm looking forward to the DLC for that.
Yeah, I was about to
And
say.
and then Xenoblade Chronicles coming out this month, towards the end of this month, so I'm looking forward to that as well. But yeah, it's been Animal Crossing for me.
Cool. For Xenoblade Chronicles, there's like trailers and stuff out. I would suggest not looking at those. Just
I
go
saw
in.
that, but
Yeah, just go in
I
blind.
decided,
You decided not to look at them.
yeah, I decided just to avoid that.
Yeah, I would suggest that.
Yeah,
Just if you're in, just go in and enjoy it.
there was like a character trailer. I'm
Yeah, I'm
like,
like,
nope,
why,
probably.
dude? I mean, from
Yeah,
my perspective, why? But people that aren't sold yet, I understand. But it's a JRPG. All the surprises are nice.
right.
Yeah, it's a balance there.
Well, I don't know much about Xenoblade or anything like that, but I do know that like Smash Brothers apparently has a giant spoiler concerning the story or something. Like as far as one of the spirits are concerned,
Yeah,
I've heard.
Yeah,
I'm not exactly sure which one. I just know that there's like a spirit that's related to the game. That Smash Brothers was just like, oh yeah, let me just give away like a giant plot point.
yeah, it's there. Don't look for it, please. it, it'll it'll ruin a surprise. Yeah. Well,
I already did that, but I'm looking forward to it.
yeah.
I'm still
It's
looking
still
forward.
cool. It's still cool. As for me, it's kind of the same deal. I have a little bit more to say about Resident Evil 5. Um, so the story I'm playing with my co-host Andres on stream, which you can catch at Roll Jump Media on Twitch. But in lieu of that, I've been messing around in Mercenaries, so I don't suck as bad when we play together. And Mercenaries mode, I never played a Mercenaries mode in a Resident Evil game before, and it's really fun. It's really fun finding the zombies, finding the gun, or adjusting your loadout, or and going to town at the zombies, perfecting your aim and perfecting each gun, and seeing all the melee animations as they happen in succession. It's really fun to see. All the characters feel like superheroes, which is very different from um, my favorite Resident Evil game so far, which is the remake. Even the remake, compared to the other ones, I know that um, you don't have as much of the like rolling and stuff in the OG games. But even that, taken into five is actually insane with how what
Yeah,
the characters can do. Like I saw a clip
okay.
of I haven't played as Barry yet, but Barry Burton can headbutt like zombies, and they just like explode. So I'm like, it's really different from the Resident Evil I've exposed myself to, other than four, and four doesn't even take it that far. So it's still really fun though. It's just I can see how the turn in Resident Evil has taken by playing Mercenaries in five. And other than that, just more Final Fantasy 14. I don't have to say anything more about Final Fantasy 14. I'm just into that game, into that world.
You're,
Yeah,
that's like your Animal Crossing.
yeah, that's my
That's
Animal
true.
Crossing. Yeah. All right, co-host, you're the last one.
Well, I mean, I haven't really had a chance to play anything. As y'all know, I rejoined the workforce, so I mean, I'm just I have literally no spare time anymore. As much as I would love to be just at home, like playing video games, like I can't really. So there's really nothing for me. Um, there's really nothing for me to contribute here as far as this conversation goes, which is sad.
Right.
It makes me very, very sad.
You know
You're
what?
getting that money
Yep.
for game.
Priorities, man.
Oh, don't you worry. Trust that as soon as I get a chance, as soon as I get like a break or something, I'm just gonna just binge like all the games, just all of them.
Nice.
Persona 5 Royal. Or yeah, Royal. I said it right. I was to say Royal.
Yeah. The one that you didn't say right this time was Tsushima. You still said Tsushima, and I wanted to correct you so bad,
That's gonna
but I'm
take.
like no, I'm not gonna start off the podcast being that salty already.
I do appreciate that, but yeah, I do need to get used to saying Tsushima rather than Tsushima.
Sushi. Oh, it's sushi.
Tsushima.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
anyways, I think let's move on. So,
Yeah, we can go ahead and move on. First story of the podcast. I thought it was fitting to start with Paper Mario, the Origami King. So Nintendo's surprise dropped this game announcement on us. They didn't have any lead up to it or anything, kind of like how they did the Direct Mini that happened a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so details about Paper Mario the Origami King. It's going to release on July 17th, 2020, and I do have an excerpt from the official site about what the game's going to be about. All right, so it goes as follows. The kingdom has been ravaged by an origami menace. Join Mario and his new partner Olivia as they team up with unlikely allies like Bowser and the Toads to battle evil, folded soldiers. Try to free Princess Peach's castle from the clutches of King Ollie and in this comedy-filled adventure. Use the 100-fold arms ability to extend your arms to interact with the environment and solve puzzles. In battle, line up scattered enemies and plan your attack to maximize damage in a new ring-based battle system that requires both puzzle-solving skills and a quick wit. End quotes. So
How
that's the description. I was gonna open the floor to you guys. What do you guys think about this announcement? If you played a Paper Mario before, how does this gel with you?
Well, for me, and I think I mentioned this to you guys. I've never played a Paper Mario game before. Same from um, so. I mean, looking at this, I mean, it's interesting, and it's always nice to have a new game coming out. So I don't know. This might be my first game. Um, I mean, it looks nice. It looks really pretty. Um, as far as storyline, um, I mean, I haven't played a game before, so I really have nothing to compare it to. But I'm looking forward to what it has to offer.
Hmm.
Yeah, like Jose said, I don't have any experience with the franchise. And I was looking through like comments and opinions through Twitter and like the trailer, the comments on YouTube.
Okay, you dug deep on
And
it. Okay.
yeah, it seems like the fan base on the franchise is split
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
there's like, well, not split. They're like they're cautious, and because I know the past what like three games in the franchise hasn't haven't been like the greatest, and uh, I can see that like people are, from what they saw in the trailer, for example the combat system, I think it's brand new, and again I don't know, I haven't played the other games, but it seems brand new, and I see people, they don't know how to feel about it yet,
Hmm. Right.
like they're willing to get in their hands to play it and experience it. Yeah, but like I said, from what I saw, it looks interesting. Yeah, I would like to try it. And I mean, I've said previously in this podcast, that I'm always open to trying different games. I mean, Paper Mario is a pretty big franchise in
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's something I'm looking
I guess I've dabbled in Paper Mario before. Um, when I played it, I was young and I was not a fan of turn-based combat at all, so I'd never finished it. I probably only got like a third of the way through the game. And I'm looking at Paper Mario right now, and I'm kind of like in between. I feel like I need to revisit. I have the Thousand Year Door on the GameCube, so I think I'm going to go back and when I can just revisit it and try to reacquaint myself with the appeal of Paper Mario is. That way I can when this comes out, I have a better judgment as to whether this is going to be a game I really want to invest my time in. But as you guys said, visually, the game is visually striking, very, very appealing. The story, I really like the comedy bits of the Paper Mario, how it's
Yeah.
more lighthearted even than a regular Mario game. So that really does appeal to me. It's just the gameplay surrounding it. I just want to immerse myself in it before I really try to make a decision whether or not I want to give this game a go or not. Yeah. But I'm leaning towards yes, but I do want to revisit the franchise to see.
Right.
All right. Anybody else have input on Paper Mario? Co-host?
Well, honestly, for me, like Paper Mario, I think like when I think of my childhood, like that's probably one of like that's honestly like the first memory that I have. Like I think that's probably the first game on the Nintendo 64 I played was Paper Mario. Like that and Mario Party, like those were like the Nintendo 64 games. Well, there was a couple of them, right? But that's like as far as I remember, that like I'm pretty sure that like Paper Mario was the very first Nintendo 64 game I played.
Cool, cool.
So yeah, like when it first came out, like they were promoting it as like, oh, it's kind of like a spiritual sequel to Super Mario RPG on the SNES, right?
All
Um,
right.
Okay.
so I mean, I liked it. Like me, I'm a fan. I'm the complete opposite of you. Like I'm a huge fan of turn-based combat because
Mm-hmm.
I'm really into like that type of battle system and stuff like
Right.
JRPGs and such. So yes, definitely Paper Mario for me. Like it was like it drew me in definitely, and I replayed it so many times. As a matter of fact, when the year started, like back in January, February, like I was doing another playthrough like of Paper Mario on my Nintendo 64. I don't know if you guys were you guys here for that or no? Before like the whole shutdown thing happened? I
I
don't think
don't.
so.
Nah.
No.
I think
No,
you've
because
left it open once.
we were playing a different N64 game. Never mind. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, I started a playthrough of Paper Mario, and then like I also have like a distinct memory too that I keep coming back to whenever I think of Paper Mario. Was like I was at a Fry's electronics store in
It's
San
always
Diego.
fries, man. It's me too. I have distinct memories about fries as well.
Yeah, well, it's because we don't have one here in the valley, so like I feel like whenever we like I feel like whenever we do go up there, like it's like something memorable,
Yeah,
But
let's try to explain fries a little bit more to people that have never been to fries.
all right. So it's basically, I mean, how would you compare like a Best Buy, but like a warehouse version of a Best Buy, I guess?
Yeah, it's like a warehouse like combination of a Best Buy and a Toys R Us almost.
Yeah, so
But
because
just like
there's like
yeah,
yeah, there's a little bit of everything there. There's there's obviously electronics and stuff. They sell video games there.
yeah.
There's also like toys and board games and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it would be like you know,
It's more of a
and they
Best
also have
Buy. Yeah.
yeah, it's more Best Buy than anything
Yeah.
because they have other appliances there too and stuff like that. But anyways, I mean that's pretty much it. But yeah, so I also remember playing the Thousand Year Door for the GameCube, for the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I played a demo of it at Fry's. And I remember telling my mom, "Oh, I really want this game. I really want this game." And my mom wasn't really the type to like buy us video games.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember like on my birthday, like that year, like she ended up getting it. I'm pretty sure that she bought it right then and there. She just waited until my birthday to give it to me. But yeah. So I've been a follower of the Paper Mario series for a while. But yeah, like the last couple of them have, in my opinion, have not been really good. I think the last good entry was Super Paper Mario, and even then, I wasn't too excited because they really changed it up. Like they completely dropped the turn based battle system like in the third entry. So like Super Paper Mario, like they basically made it where it was like they made it like a Mario platformer pretty much because like if you looked at it like it was literally like playing the classic Mario game, right? Like I'm pretty sure that the first world was actually like inspired, if not like a completely remade like World 1-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the fighting was basically like, oh, like Mario jumps in the overworld. If you stomp on an enemy, then bam, they're dead. You know what I mean? Like they that's what they did. And I mean, the story is what kept me playing, but I was not a fan of the gameplay. And then from there on, like there was Sticker Star and Color Splash and all these other paper, like it's just like, nah, they were not good. I honestly, like, I tried all of them, and I could not get past like 10 minutes.
Wow,
Like the
really?
Yeah, like I couldn't even get past the introduction. So like how Jose and Luis both said, like a lot of people are kind of weary. I'm one of them. I'm one of those people where like I like it. Like it was visually stunning, but I kind of want to see a little bit more before I decide to invest $60 into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I said last week that I'm no longer a fan of watching gameplay trailers or anything like that because it gives away too much of the story. But I think in this case I might make an exception because I want to see more of how the game actually plays before I decide to go all in on it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, I mean it's exciting that there's the possibility that that they're bringing new life into the Paper Mario series. Especially considering that a lot of Mario franchises are kind of disappearing right now. They're like how the fate of the Mario and Luigi series is kind of up in the air right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty good. It also speaks to the fact that since there actually was a Paper Mario announcement, there's actually some truth. There's some weight to the rumors of like
Yeah.
Mario 64, Mario Galaxy remakes or remasters and stuff like that. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time right now.
Yeah. So I think this game was rumored. It came with a rumor that also said that there was a 2D Metroid game, like
Hmm.
and or
I
What
was
do you
not
so
aware
mean?
of this rumor.
Wait,
yeah,
wait. What do you mean?
I think that was the first time we heard about the a rumored new Paper Mario. Because then we heard again with the remasters of the other games.
Mm.
So like some people are speculating that okay maybe well maybe the Mario remasters are true, but maybe like the Metroid 2D Metroid game is also true.
Oh
And
yeah, because at the end of the trailer, right? Like it showed Mario wearing Samus's helmet too, right?
right, and a lot of
So
people are speculating that that's a tease or
it could
that
be.
I don't know. It could be.
It could be because back in what was it 2018 when Metroid Samus Returns came out.
2017.
2017. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. What was I gonna? Oh yeah. So yeah, like if you play through the game and you beat it, you unlock fusion mode, right? If you replay the game in fusion mode and then you
Spoilers.
beat it again,
Spoiler warning
okay,
for a 3-year-old game.
oh
Or
yeah, it's a
about 3-year-old
spoiler
game.
warning for a 3-year-old game. Okay,
Yeah.
but
To avoid spoilers, use the timestamps in the description.
yeah, if you played the game and you beat it again in fusion mode, there's a secret movie at the end where basically, after you leave the planet, the Metroids are all dead and everything. Um, there's a Hornode just bouncing around in the overworld of SR388, and then an X parasite shows up out of nowhere and kills it, and then it just becomes a Hornode X. So I mean, that was a pretty clear like tease to like Metroid Fusion. So the
I
fact
hope
that
it's so
Paper
true,
Mario,
man. I hope it's true.
I hope so too, cause for me and you, Ray, like Metroid Fusion, that's like our favorite Metroid game.
Yeah.
You know,
It's.
that's childhood right there. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm pretty sure that that just might be a Metroid Fusion tease again more than Metroid Prime 4, just because you said it's a 2D Metroid, so obviously I mean, well, who knows? I hope that they keep Metroid Fusion a 2D style kind of, or
Yeah,
like a
same, same.
or maybe like a 3D but with like a 2D background, kind of like how they did Samus Returns. But
I kind of
I don't know.
want them to throw it all the way back. I know it costs money, like more money than how Samus Returns was made. But imagine
Yeah.
how if it was just throwback,
Dude, I
throwback.
don't know. Honestly, like I'm just like I would just be happy the fact that they remade Metroid Fusion. Period. Because if it's anything like how they did Samus Returns, you know it's gonna be good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So,
I do want
dude,
to see a
I'm just
different take if just because we have the
yeah,
original.
just a couple of tweaks to the story, not like a huge change
Yeah,
or
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Just a couple tweaks here and there. Because I mean, Samus Returns, they kind of did add a story component because I mean there really wasn't a story other than what was on the game manual for that game back in the Game Boy days,
Mm.
the original Game Boy. But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. Like, I hope, what I really want to see is I really want to see the SAX. Like, I just want to see like what a current day SAX would look like. If they remade the exact scene where she shows up like after blowing a hole through that wall and they do the close up with her eyes like pupilless, ooh, ooh,
Oh yeah.
excited.
But yeah, I remember that.
I think they have the perfect. They implemented the perfect amount of SAX though. I wouldn't want more or less of her. Of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. See, my problem, I honestly think that Metroid Fusion, it's like great, like 9 out of 10. And the only reason why I don't give it a full 10 is because it was too linear, in comparison to
Mm,
other Metroid
yeah.
games where you can sequence break, you really couldn't do that in Fusion. Like it was like really like way like only towards the end when you can kind of do like a sequence break, and it was that Easter egg, where you go to the navigation room before you would do the level 4 security locks. That's like the only time you can do like a
Mm.
sequence break, if that, and it wasn't really a sequence break because you couldn't really do anything with it.
That's more up my
Um,
alley of games that I appreciate more.
what?
That's why it's a 10 to me probably because that's the kind of game I like more is a more
Oh,
linear
you
game.
you you prefer you prefer like more linearity?
I prefer more of a fusion linearity than a Super Metroid ish.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. I really do. I played Super Metroid recently too, and I don't know. It does give the player more agency to do what they want, like because like you get lost more easy in Super Metroid.
True.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't like that feeling as much as other people do. I like to be
Mm,
guided more,
okay.
but I wouldn't mind if they do make a little bit of tweak here and there. It
Okay.
wouldn't break it for me at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, um, I mean, I see where you're coming from, and I agree that like sometimes when you do have like that open world type of thing, or like where you're allowed to sequence break, it's easy to get lost, especially in something like a Metroid game where like it's like this like desolate world with like many branching paths.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just a
it's
big
it's
old
easy
map.
to get. Yeah, yeah, it's easy to get lost, especially back then where there really wasn't a way to tell like how far you progressed,
I
because
know, right?
there was like no mission objective on the menu screen. There was no like AI computer telling you like, oh, here's where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do. So I mean, like, if you abandon like Super Metroid for a couple months and then you decide to come back to it and you're like, oh wait, where am I? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
it can be kind of difficult, yeah, sure. But then at the same time, um, I think that could also benefit both a player like you and me, because where you like the more linear type of thing, and I like the more like exploration type of thing.
Yeah.
um a game like Super Metroid, right? Like, if you know what you're doing, if you know where you're supposed to go, then you can just play the story how it's meant to be played, right? Like, that's how you would play your game. You would have a good time. No big
Yeah, yeah.
deal, you know. Provided, of course, there's actually like a prompt to remind you like what it is you're supposed to do, or to tell you what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, I kind of like well even in Super Metroid, I kind of liked just like setting those specific like checkpoints for yourself in your mind. Just like you'll progress past a group of enemies and then you reach a set point and you're like, I feel like I didn't do enough. I think I'm gonna try to get to the next save point. That's how I kind of approach them. Like,
Okay.
uh, I got to the second save point. I'm feel like I'm almost there, but I feel like I need to find another save point before I finish. And then usually by the time you find that next save point, you've done a boss or something, or you've had like a really difficult encounter that almost brought you to the brink of death. You'd be like, you know what?
Hmm.
This is a good time to save and come back or something, unless you just want to marathon it. So
Okay.
that's how I kind of that's the pretext of me enjoying a Metroid game. It's just those that save point system is paramount.
Yeah. No, and I mean, and I get what you're saying, but like what I mean is like you could play the game that way, right? And then
Yeah.
it's just like if you want to play the game like if you actually travel down the path you're supposed to travel down and everything like that, despite there being different branching paths you could take, you know, like a game like Super Metroid, I think it would be fun for both a player like you and for me because, like I said,
Mm.
you could play the game as it's intended, go down the path you're supposed to, but then for the player that doesn't want to just go straight to a story event, like we could
I see what
sequence
you're saying
break.
now. Okay.
Yeah, we could sequence break, do whatever we want. So what I'm saying is like if Metroid Fusion they could keep like the AI, they could keep like the computer AI telling you like, oh, here, go to sector 5, go to sector 2, go to sector 1, go to this place, go to that place, go to this data room.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like they kept that, but they didn't keep like, the paths blocked. Because you know how like, they had the level 4, the level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4
Yeah.
locked.
Yeah.
So like it kind of arbitrarily like
Limits
you
your
know
options.
like it limited you like as far as exploration,
Yeah.
you know.
It kind of you can kind of see like the areas you go through if you think of if you played Super Metroid Fusion before and you just think of what happens in the game, there's distinct like areas that you remember like okay, first you go through the I don't know, like underground world, and then you go to water, and then I don't remember it too clearly, but
Mhm.
there's a sequence of environments that come to your mind as opposed to Super Metroid where there's just a whole bunch of environments that come to your mind, but nothing in particular. Like you'll probably okay, you get the various suit, and that means you can go in hot levels or whatever. But you revisit it
Right.
so many times, and you go back to so many different environments that a sequence doesn't really come to mind, other than the
Hmm.
power ups that allow you to go to new areas. So
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And see what Fusion did is just like they there was basically like one, like it was all one ship, right? With like a main hub, and then you take an elevator down to like the specific sectors that were all like tied to the environments, right?
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
it's not like you could have gone from sector 5 to sector 1, you know? Like you
Hmm.
could literally only go to like the neighboring sectors like towards the end of the game once you had like all of your power-ups, like once you had the speed booster and the screw
Screw
attack and stuff
attack.
like
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean that was really the only way you could traverse from sector to sector, and it wasn't like you could make like a jump, like you could only visit your neighboring sector. So I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean, like I said, I still think that Metroid Fusion is probably like my favorite. It's one of my favorites, if not the favorite Metroid game of
Hmm.
mine. But I do think that it suffered from its linearity. That's why I don't give it like a perfect 10 out of 10 score.
I see that.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's fine.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's still my favorite. So no matter what, I'm excited to see it happen because they've teased it so much where it's gonna happen. There's just no way it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, if the official game like does a tease of it, then
Yeah.
it's gonna happen sooner or later. Um, I kind of forgot we were talking about Paper Mario. We can...
Yeah, we jumped from Paper Mario to Metroid, but it was because we were talking about the past titles, and then Luis brought up the 2D Metroid
Yeah.
possibility. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So
mean, Nintendo has, I feel like they have a lot in store, so yeah, I'll just say that.
Yeah, all right. Well, so Nintendo games that we have look forward to that are first party, in addition to the Clubhouse 51 game and Xenoblade Chronicles. Now we have Paper Mario, the Origami King to look forward to in July. So we just have to wait to see what else Nintendo has in store for us in the future.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging this surprise like drops.
It's different, huh? It's different.
I feel like a lot of people. I mean, the hype is much more effective when it's a surprise, obviously. And I don't know. It keeps people on their toes.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next story. Our next story has to do with Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima. Damn it. All right, Ghost of Tsushima. So Ghost of Tsushima had a state of play dedicated to it on Thursday, last Thursday. I have some details about what we saw in that state of play. To help jog my memory, I did pull some information from Samir Mitha from a website called Score. So I just wanted to shout them out. Did you guys watch the trailer at all? Just before I go into the details or the state of
I
play?
have,
You have not.
I
Okay.
have not.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay. So it's just
But
gonna
you can go
be
ahead.
Andres and I that saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. Details. So in the game, the wind will guide you to your objectives. So there's not going to be a quest marker. The wind's going to guide you to your objectives. And there's also going to be visual cues that will guide you to do exploration and see points of interest. So visual cues as in like smoke coming from a certain area, or they said peculiar looking trees that would warrant some exploration.
Mm.
So no quest markers. It's going to be all contextual in the game, with the wind being a big mechanic. There's going to be customization, so you can customize your outfits. You're going to have a horse to ride around on. It looks like you can summon the horse. Pretty much, he looked like he just summoned it off of the tap of a button. So kind
Yeah, there
of.
was like a a button specifically for whistling for the horse. So kind
Okay,
of like
okay.
how in Breath of the Wild, like you could whistle for your steed, I guess.
Yeah, so
So
I would assume it would function similarly to Breath of the Wild. You're going to have the option to play as a samurai or ninja. All right, they refer to the ninja as being the ghost. So the samurai mode, in that, when you're playing as a samurai, you're more honorable. So when you go ahead and fight enemies, you'll have the option to like, um, how do you call it? Kind of agree to the duel. So you kind of like stand off with each other, and then you fight, and then you go into killing all the other enemies. So it's more of an honorable way of
it's like
fighting.
it's like a duel. It was
Yeah,
basically like a
duel.
duel type of thing. Because like how they had described it in the trailer was basically like as soon as you walk up to an opponent, like you have the chance to like like stand off, like basically stand off on each other. And then there was even an option where like you could do it like the old like samurai, like the old samurai movies, where like you could do like the whole like movie type of thing where like you guys are like just standing off, and each one of you is like just holding the sheath of your sword and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So
Yeah, so my boy was more interested in in the samurai
in that,
version. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is really cool though. You can deflect arrows. Um, there's like a meter on the bottom that I did not analyze a lot of, but there's a meter that you can use that I assume will either, I don't know if it slows down time or allows you to do certain types of kill animations or whatever, but there is a bar that you can use that'll give you a special ability of some sort as well. And then there's ninja mode, or being as the ghost. So ghost playing as a ghost is kind of more of an Assassin's Creed approach. You're not going to be standing off against people as much. You're going to try to assassinate them from behind when they're least expecting it. You'll have tools to like distract people so that you can assassinate them from the shadows or from an unexpected perch or something like that. And uh, there was a fear mechanic. So the the place that you were invading, the as when you were assassinating everybody, I think when you got to like the fifth or the sixth guy, that guy was actually he fell to the ground and he was like scooting backwards trying to get away from you because he was afraid. So I don't know how that mechanic's gonna work. It looks very, very intriguing. How your reputation precedes you and the enemies actually react to you being on the battlefield, which is pretty cool.
So okay, really quick, Ray. I don't mean to cut you off there,
Yeah.
but so I have an addendum to that. I found out that it basically works um as so like the player character Jin.
Hmm.
Um, so he's the warrior in the daytime, and at night he's the ghost.
Oh,
So
so
so it basically who like you like depending on the on when you're playing, like whether it's day or night, that'll be how you're gonna be presented as. So
okay.
and during the day, Jin will be the warrior, and at night he'll be the ghost.
I kind of like that. I thought you would have
Yeah.
more choice as to whether one you'd pick,
Well, I suppose
but yeah,
the choice would be whether you do more during the day and then less at night, or if you want to play more during the nighttime versus the day. I don't know if it's going to be
yeah,
real time or not.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because if it is, that's going to kind of suck for the people that can't really play at night, or vice versa.
Or
I don't know if it's gonna be like an option in the game, like, oh, do you wanna like, if there's gonna be like a campfire or something, like, oh, do you want to wait until dawn? Do you want to wait until dusk? You know, I don't know if that's what they're gonna implement or something.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's how they're gonna do it. But basically, yeah, like if who you are as the character is gonna depend whether it's day or night. So
Oh, okay, I see.
yeah.
All right, that's a good little tidbit to know. Thanks for that.
Hmm.
All right, so that covers both play styles. There's also charms that you can equip on your character, and that'll give you certain perks. They also pointed out a filter. So they created a black and white cinematic filter. Um, they said it was going to be windy too, so a black and white windy cinematic filter that you can choose right from the beginning of the game, and it's supposed to invoke that 1960s cinematic samurai movie feel, and yeah, and that's what Andres was talking about, how they framed it to where uh, Jin and the other person, the enemy, was locked in a duel, and they were just staring each other down, and they had that filter, and they were getting going for that cinematic samurai movie vibe, which is it was hitting, guys. It was really cool. And then the last detail that I have is that the game's going to have a Japanese dub, so it's not just going to be English. They actually got a Japanese cast to voice act the lines. So from the start of the game, you can play it in Japanese with English subtitles. Yeah, that just about does it for all the details. I know my boy and I saw or on my boy, Andres and I saw the state of play. Um, so we have our thoughts about it. We shared some of them just right now. But do you all have any thoughts about Tsushima? Anything that you look forward to?
Well, I definitely want to check out the state of play, um, because it is a game that I mean, I'm, I'm always interested in games, and I want to see. I like to see gameplay on certain games to see if it's my thing. So I definitely want to check it out. I mean, the whole aesthetic of the game, it's kind of like a plus for me as well because it really looks interesting. Um, so yeah, I
Yeah,
need to
so
check it out.
you got to check out you actually got to check out the state of play to see it for yourself. I understand that.
Well, from what you guys were talking about, it seems like a very fun game. Uh, I mean, to be honest with you, like there really wasn't any. I mean, it was hype because it was a new game, and I mean, I don't know, like a lot of people are very excited about this game, you know. But I mean, for me personally, I mean, it's not the type of game that I usually, um, go for.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I mean, it looks good from what you guys were saying as well. The features that they add. Um, and then I think, like Luis said, I would just have to look at the state of play and see what see it in more detail. But I mean, it's exciting. I mean, a lot of people are really hyped about it. So we'll see what it offers.
Yeah, a bunch of people tuned in to see it live, and the last time I checked, I think it was the day of or the morning after, it was like 55,000 upvotes and about 1.8K downvotes, so a pretty good ratio on YouTube.
Just really quick, this game is coming out in July, right?
Yeah, it's gonna come out the same day as
Super
Paper
Mario.
Mario. Yeah, so July 17th. July. Let me go ahead and confirm that actually. Ghost of Tsushima
Sushi.
release. Yeah. Yeah, July 17th. So a sentiment that I was seeing online about the state of play was that people were blown away by the environment and you traversing the environment, but when it came to the combat, while it was good, um, some people were kind of trepidatious or same as me about how it looked and how smooth it functioned. Like during the samurai moments, the swings kind of looked a little finicky. But those are just like little nitpicks that you can only see from the trailer. You have to actually, I don't know if they'll actually do a deep dive on how more gameplay, how the gameplay actually is going to work, or if they just need a little bit of time to buff out those rough edges. But that seems to be the major criticism that coming out from different outlets is just how smooth the gameplay actually is, and if it's going to be it's gonna be okay or like smooth to control.
Right.
Yeah, so that's also my concern, but it's a very small concern that I'm sure that Sucker Punch will iron out. So my co-hosts, I know you saw it with me. We have a reaction up on our website.
Yes,
Just
sir.
just quick impressions. Are you excited for the game? Is there anything that caught your eye or something that gives you pause about what you saw?
Um, well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, the gameplay presentation part of, when you're playing as the warrior, like that definitely drew my attention more versus the ghost.
Hmm.
But as I explained in our live reaction, if the game, I mean, the game is called Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be some part of the game where you're gonna be either forced to play as the ghost, or maybe that's just who Jin is supposed to be. Like that's his notoriety as being the ghost. So despite having that the choice of being the warrior or being the ghost, I like to play how the game is intended, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
Sure.
Like, if the game story is basically saying, oh, Jin, he's supposed to be the ghost, he's this famous assassin, he stalks during the night, whatever. If that's the story that the game has, I like to keep true to the story. So, even though I'm more excited for the warrior, um the warrior Jin, I'll probably keep true to the story. Like, I'll give it a shot. I'll experience the game, how it's meant to be experienced. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, definitely like that whole samurai showdown type of thing. Like the dueling. that would definitely for me was like a huge selling point. Like, like I was super super excited, especially with that cinematic mode that you touched on earlier.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, definitely, definitely. There wasn't really anything that kind of um there wasn't really anything that stood out to me negatively.
Mhm.
I mean, you had said something about like a low frame rate, but like I didn't really notice it. Like if anything, like I just probably chalked it up as it being from the stream, like not necessarily the game itself, just probably the stream. But who knows,
Yeah.
there wasn't
So,
there was nothing really that I basically have no negative criticism to the game. Like I thought it was good. Definitely something that I would buy, just because I'm very very interested like in that whole like samurai aesthetic. So
yeah,
um
definitely.
I think one thing for me too, like something that I don't think you mentioned earlier too. Now that I think about it, yeah, the wind is basically gonna be like that's how the game dictates where you're supposed to go. But and the smoke signals and stuff like that. But there's also wildlife too that tells you where you're supposed to go,
Oh,
like
yes, I
birds
didn't
and,
touch on
and stuff.
this. That's right.
Yeah, there's like birds and foxes basically. Like they kind of lead you to like the secrets and stuff like that. So like the foxes lead you to these like secret shrines where like if you pray to them, it's supposed to do something. I don't remember what it was exactly, but like that's obviously something that you want to do, you know.
Mhm.
So it's little things like that. It's little details like that that really kind of like get to me. Um, so like the foxes leading you to the shrines and stuff like that, like all that, like I liked it. Like it was very much calling to me. So,
Cool.
but yeah, no, I mean, whenever the their next announcement comes, like I'm definitely gonna be excited for more news and information. So.
So, yeah, same. Just for clarification's sake, uh, for the low frame rate thing, I know what you were meaning.
Mm.
The By low frame rate, we were talking about like 30 frames per second, and sometimes it looked like it dipped a little bit lower than that, just like in the 20-ish range. But again, that might just be because we were watching. It might be just from the video source or something. But um, hopefully, when the game comes out, when I actually have my hands on it, it'll be smoother than what I saw. All right. So the next story that we have, earlier in the week, during the Summer Game Fest, Epic shared a demo with us using their Unreal Engine 5. So through their Unreal Engine 5, they showed a demo that was running on the PS5, and that demo was titled Lumen in the Land of Nanite. So this Lumen in the Land of Nanite, the Epic developed it to showcase what the PS5 was capable of, and also what their engine was capable of. And it's very Tomb Raider-esque, Uncharted vibes. The main character was a female, and she was climbing up the side of walls that were like crumbling, and there was a lot of detail in them. She was traversing a cave that had different lighting effects. So like when she entered the cave, they had the roof of the cave, like holes came down on it or opened up in the roof, and light shined through it. So the purpose of that was to show how the lighting effects were going to function on the PS5 using the Unreal Engine 5. Supposedly they're going to have, well, I'm going to get into the lighting effects later. And at the very end of it, they just had like a flight sequence that happened where um, they just had this vast area, desert looking area, and she just had some power that I don't know what she had, but she was just jumping around the area, going to the point of destination, and it all looked very, very, very good, very detailed. Something that you would see in a very high-end PC that people would pay like $2,000 for just to get that kind of quality, if not kind of eclipsed what games can look like now. Some details that I got about this, their Unreal Engine 5 comes from their site. So what they say is that the Unreal Engine 5 will support film quality source art that can be directly imported into the engine. So how previously in previous generations, developers would have to create the asset and then they would have to tinker with the asset in order for it to run well or not be such a drain on the actual system. But with Unreal Engine 5, it says that, and with the new consoles, the developers can just make their art that's film quality that you would see in big budget movies in the theaters, and they can bring that right into the game without much issue, if at all. So that's going to give developers less of a headache to worry about if they were to use Unreal Engine 5. They have a quote here that says, Nanite virtualized micro polygon geometry frees artists to create as much geometric detail as the eye can see. So that goes in, that links in with what I said previously. And I have also another quote here about the lighting effects, and it says, Lumen, which is what they're calling their lighting effects, is a fully dynamic global illumination solution that immediately reacts to the scene and light changes. The system renders infinite bounces at scales ranging from kilometers to millimeters. So yeah, that just about does it for the details. Were you guys able to see the demo that they showed off earlier in the week? Or do you have any opinions about
Yeah,
what I shared with you?
yeah. I actually woke up to see that.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah, at first I thought it was gonna be a game announcement, but then I saw that it was like the new engine,
Right.
and well, I mean, it like watching it, it looks really cool. Like it looks really like realistic. Uh, it's definitely like an improvement from Unreal Engine 4 or the current engines video games are using or developers are using. And but this was a tech demo, right?
Yeah, it's a demo.
Uh,
So they said um, it was just to show off the Unreal Engine 5. There's no guarantees that that'll become a actual game.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely exciting to see what's coming in the future and to see what developers do with this engine. But yeah, I definitely want to see new games running on this engine.
hmm And the engine's also going not just going to support PlayStation 5, it's also going to support other platforms. So,
Uh,
yeah. So they chose, I don't know why, they probably just were in talks with Sony and had some type of collaboration, but the engine's also going to support other platforms.
right.
Yeah. I guess yeah, this is the biggest takeaway is that things are just going to look very, very way more detailed than they have ever been. Like I know it sounds kind of weird, but just the very beginning is the thing that stands out to me, just the gravel and the dirt clumps on the side. Like they zoomed in so close to it and it really looks like it's real life dirt clumps. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
the little
it's
things, man.
insane.
Yeah. Um, so we also have our panelists Jose and our co-host Andres. Did you guys happen to find any news about it or watch a clip or so about what happened?
Well, I mean, I saw a trailer as well.
Oh, you did?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, it looks nice. I was telling Luis on my laptop, it's not like it's not like the best quality,
Oh,
but
yeah, that's fine.
so I really couldn't appreciate like because like when Luis saw it, he saw it on his laptop and he saw it in like HD, like very clearly. My
Oh,
laptop is
right.
not that good,
Ah,
so
okay,
I couldn't
okay.
really truly appreciate the quality of the graphics. But I mean, it's always exciting when something new comes out and something that is meant to improve the industry as a whole. So I don't know. It's exciting to see what the other. I mean, if this demo, which we don't know if it's going to become a game, um, if it ever, you know, gets released as a game, we got to see what that looks like with
Mm-hmm.
this, demo or this trailer. So it's exciting to see what other games, with some already established franchises, will look like using this engine. So it's exciting.
Yeah, sure, certainly, certainly. Do you have any other thoughts about the Lumen in the Land of Nanite demo?
Not me. I
Not
mean,
really.
nah. I mean, I saw it. I mean, yeah, it was like it was nice. Like showing off the Unreal Engine 5. But nah, I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I guess I'm not really interested in that game. That's not really the type of game I would be interested in. So I
Yeah,
really didn't
sure.
have like a comment. I mean, I was more interested, I guess, in the visual. But it's for the people that probably do like would want to play that game. I mean, it definitely looks interesting. It definitely looks good. Just from that little short clip, I mean, it definitely seems like there's gonna be a lot of like exploration and like like the mechanic of like gliding through the air and stuff like that. Like it basically seems like that might be like a big thing for gameplay wise. So I mean, it's definitely exciting for those that would appreciate that game. So
Yeah. Well, it's not gonna. Well, they never really confirmed if it is or not, but as far as we know, it's not going to become a full game. It's just to show what the next gen is capable of.
yeah,
Yeah. And I just wanted to shout out Epic real quick. I have the Unreal Engine thing. Like you can download Unreal Engine 4 and you can use it. Like I'd have to pay any money for it. I don't know if there's features that are. I think there are features that are cut off, but I don't think it's anything substantial to where you can't make your own game. You can just download Unreal Engine off their site and you can make your own stuff. So that's really cool. Like it's pretty much like anybody that wants to make a game and use our engine, you can do it. Just go ahead and download it, and that's all you got to do. Figure out how to make a game, and you can make a game. It's pretty cool. And to know that this is gonna come next year and people can just have access to it is opens up a realm of possibilities. All right, are you guys ready to move on to the last big story that we have?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Our last big story concerns Square Enix. Square Enix? Do you guys know?
it's Square Enix.
Enix. Okay, Square Enix. There were reports. I got my report from Cyan Meyer from VG 24/7. Square Enix will not have an E3 showcase. They are instead going to be showing off their games individually and not in one big package. So Cyan Meyer he points to a tweet from Takashi Mochizuki, and the tweet says Square Enix said that it won't hold an online event to unveil this fiscal year's new releases around E3's timing, because making assets ready for such show has become difficult due to COVID-19. Instead, it will announce new titles on an individual basis. So, in order
I
for us
feel
to
like,
talk, oh, go ahead if you have input.
well, is that what Nintendo is doing? Would you guys say that's what Nintendo is doing? Like just reveal things on a individual basis,
I feel
or
like they're
what they're
doing the
planning on
same
doing?
thing. Yeah,
So
I
I mean,
really
it's
do.
interesting to see how the COVID-19 pandemic is kind of changing the reveal, the way um, companies are revealing their projects or their games. Um, Personally, I mean, it's always nice to have like a conference like E3 and show you like a series of things that they're gonna be releasing. But I mean, I find this kind of nice too, just individual games. Each one gets their own like attention.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that one. I feel I think the how I feel it the most is with Xenoblade Chronicles. Like by this time in May, like you're everybody's kind of like in the E3 mindset. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for whatever's coming up. And I feel like
Hmm.
that would affect games that are coming out like Xenoblade negatively in a way. I don't know if I'm jumping to conclusions or not, but knowing that there's not going to be an E3 and that I can just wait on individual games kind of makes me appreciate that release a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess in that way it kind of is also helpful, but the hype that comes with E3 is just it's unmatched. But still we're going to get
Right.
the games anyway, but yeah, I see what you're coming
Yeah. Yeah.
from.
Sorry to
Uh
interrupt. You were gonna continue.
oh yeah, sure. So I wanted to list off the games that Square Enix has that are announced. So in order to get the games and to refresh my memory, I referenced Elise Nelson from The Gamer. Games that we have to look forward to from Square Enix are as follows. We have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered, which is a JRPG. Marvel's Avengers. Circuit Superstars, which is a racing game. We have Dying Light 2 that's going to be coming up. And Dying Light 2 is a first person zombie game with parkour. It's pretty cool. So those are the projected 2020 games. And I just remembered one game off the top of my head by Platinum, Babylon's Fall. Babylon's Fall is supposed to be an action game in the like of like Nier Automata. And we're not sure when that's going to come out, but that's also something we can look forward to. Do any of those games in particular do they spark your attention, or are they something that you could do without?
To be honest, when you mentioned like the Avengers, I forgot that game was even a thing. It's crazy.
I
It was
know
not so long ago. It felt so long.
there
Yeah.
has been no follow up for the Avengers. I feel like they need to do some follow up soon.
Because yeah, like I completely forgot about the game.
Yeah.
But other than that, the other games, nothing really pops out to me uh, for those games, right? Well,
Yeah.
maybe basketball, but again, we don't really have an exact date on when that game's coming out.
Yeah,
Uh,
so we just had a trailer and there's no exact date.
right.
Yeah.
Did we see any footage on the Game Awards for the game, or was it another game?
We do have footage, but I don't know if it was from the Game Awards. But there is
Oh,
footage.
yeah,
If you
because
look up Babylon's Fall gameplay, you can find some a trailer that shows off some gameplay.
but yeah, but that game, it's interesting to me. It's mostly because of Platinum. I've been playing a lot of Platinum games. So
Oh yeah, yeah, you've
that
been
game.
on a platinum spree.
But other than that, I don't know.
I mean that zombie game you mentioned, right?
And like two.
Yeah. I mean
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Dying Light 2 is a big budget game. Like they pushed it back because they needed to have work on it more. But that game it screams quality. Like there's like branching story paths where you can like it actually affects how the game world shapes. Like there was a demo at E3 2019 where they detailed that depending on your choice, um, you can like drain like water from like an underground, not an underground, but like a area of the level that's lower level. And if you follow the choices to drain that and to make that place playable, then you'll have that area available to you. But if you chose the route to where that drainage doesn't happen, that section of the game is just walled off to you in your game. Like you won't have access to it because you chose not to drain the water or something. Yeah, something along those lines, which is pretty insane. Like the game is pretty ambitious, and I can see why they need more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know which one's the first game that they're gonna like talk about?
We don't know. They just said that they're just going to announce them individually. I would wager it would be Marvel's Avengers. I hope so.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, the whole Marvel hype was at its peak, like what, last year? Last year. So I don't know why they haven't jumped on that yet.
Yeah,
Like
well,
it's
they've been having some criticism thrown at them from what they've been showing so far.
yeah.
So I
So they're
understand if they're
probably fixing.
trepidatious.
Yeah.
Yep. So and then we just had a Final Fantasy VII remake release on April 10th, and Dragon Quest 11S released last year on the Switch. Kingdom Hearts released last year. Nier was a 2017 game, I believe, and Trials of Mana that released in April as well. So a lot of their big franchises have released games so far. So whatever they have coming up next, we're kind of in the dark about it. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any last thoughts about Square Enix? Anything that you're looking forward to?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
We'll see what they reveal down the line.
Right. 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 And I went to fandom.com to figure out that Trials of Mana, Trials of Mana, and the other big properties of Square Enix. So
Great.
I had a reference. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So these last three stories that I have, I just wanted to mention them because they're also significant. Um, a remastered package of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was announced during the Summer Game Fest as well, and that's going to release on September 4th, 2020 for $40. The Mafia trilogy was announced, and there's going to be a official announcement about it on next Tuesday. For those of you that don't know, Mafia is kind of like a GTA style game, and it takes place during the 1900s in America. And lastly, Ubisoft is going to have a Ubisoft Forward event where it's going to be an E3 style showcase on July 12th. And there we should expect to see a good number of their upcoming games that we're anticipating. Hopefully, Gods and Monsters. We're most likely going to see Assassin's Creed, um, Watch Dogs Legion,
Mario
and
Rabbit.
there might be a surprise Mario Rabbids sequel or something. We don't know. So we have that to look forward to in July. And yeah, that's just about does it for the remainder of the stories. Do you guys have any input on those three? Just wanted to mention those since those were significant as well.
No, I mean, my only question is, is there anything planned for June? Like, is anyone doing anything in June?
June. Well,
I feel like
Xbox,
everyone in
yeah,
July.
Xbox says that they're going to be doing something every month. I forget what source it was, but they're gonna have like a little something for us every month. But it looks like the big stuff, like Xbox is doing their first party things in July. We don't know when Sony's gonna do their thing, so yeah, June's looking kind of ripe for the taking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nintendo, you know what to do.
Hey,
Nintendo. All right, so that just about does it for all our news segments. That means that we're on our last part of the podcast, which is pass or play. So this is our eighth time doing this. Just as a reminder, and those of you that are new, pass or play is when one of us chooses a game. We take a quote from the back of the box of that game, and the panelists have to tell me or tell whoever presented the game if they pass on it or if they play it based on the description. Okay, so we have a couple of us that are going to be doing this. It's going to be myself and Jose.
Me, yes.
All right, so
Well, you want me to go first, Ray, or
you know what? I'll go first. I'll let you have the finale.
oh goodness, okay.
Okay, okay. All right, you guys ready? You guys are all ears?
Yes.
yeah.
All right. Um. Oh my gosh, I don't have mine. Mine's not here.
What you mean?
I flubbed it. I didn't have it. I don't have it here. Oh boy. I know what game it is. I'm gonna have you go first then, Jose, while I try to retrieve mine. Change of plans.
Okay,
Abort.
all right. Okay, so then I'll go first.
Okay.
Um, let me. Okay. Like in the past, I'm gonna have to blank out some certain words or phrases just so that it doesn't give it away.
Okay.
Doesn't give away. But okay. So it goes like this: caught between powerful forces and hunted down by genetically mutated citizens, you come to grips with a mysterious and fascinating world that not only challenges your capacity to adapt and survive, but brings to question your values and commitments, asking, do you exploit the innocent citizens of blank to save yourself, or do you risk all to become their savior? Based on that description, what would you guys do?
That was a pretty long description, but that
Yeah.
sounds something I'd be interested in playing. So I'm gonna
So you
play.
would okay.
Um, yeah, from instead, I'll play.
How about you, Ray?
I had to go retrieve the game. I was woefully unprepared because of I didn't save it on my computer. All right.
Can you
Uh,
repeat it, please?
yeah, please.
Okay. Caught between powerful forces and hunted down by genetically mutated citizens, you come to grips with a mysterious and fascinating world that not only challenges your capacity to adapt and survive, but brings to question your values and commitment, asking, do you exploit the innocent citizens of blank to save yourself, or do you risk all to become their savior?
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, okay. There's some new information there. Hold on. So okay. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of falling asleep a little, so I only heard bits and pieces of that. Hold on. This basically sounds like it's a zombie apocalypse type of game. I'm not a fan of those.
mm.
That's either like Telltale's The Walking Dead or The Last of Us.
That's what you think it is?
Yeah.
Okay. But I
Uh,
mean, would you pass or play?
okay, I think I'm gonna change mine. I think I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on that one.
All right.
Interesting.
I'm still gonna play it.
Do you have an like a theory of what game you think it is?
I thought it was gonna be. I was thinking of The Last of Us, but I don't know.
I'm
But I'll play
going.
it.
Okay. I'm gonna play it because I like the prospect of a morality system. To either be to save or to exploit. I kind of like that.
Mhm.
That kind of plays into to my sensibilities. As for a guess, it doesn't describe any gameplay, so it's off of
Yeah, I think it's
yeah. Huh. It does sound like
so we have,
a choice-based game.
wait, so you would play?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I can't come up with a guess.
Okay, so we have two plays and one pass.
Yeah, I'm stumped on what it could be.
I haven't really played The Last of Us, so I don't really know if there's like a choice, like choices to it or not. So I'm leaning more towards like Telltale's The Walking Dead because I know that there's a morality system to it, and I know that there's choices where you can like save or sacrifice people. So I'm leaning more towards that one, but my safety would be The Last of Us.
Okay, so the game is actually um, Bioshock.
BioShock?
BioShock, what?
Really? Oh, dude,
Okay.
that's such. I see that now. Oh
It's a good thing
my
I passed on that because yeah,
gosh.
I would never play that game.
Really? I chose it to.
Uh,
I haven't played it, but it's coming out on the Switch. I mean, it's something that I'm interested in. I don't know that game. I've seen some gameplay here and there, and it's something that appeals to me. So
yo, that's a good
I'm looking forward.
pull.
But um, but yeah, that was the game.
Wow.
Damn.
I don't want to play
Oh,
BioShock though.
We can't.
I don't want to play BioShock, man. All right. All right. Well, I said I was. Damn. All right.
Your turn, right?
Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Here we go.
That was tomorrow game.
What? All right, let me go ahead and do it real quick. An army of diabolic dinosaurs has shattered the tranquil world of Dinosaur Planet. The future looks bleak until Blank entered the fray. For the first time in his legendary career, he leaves his Blank to battle enemies hand to hand with a enchanted staff of untold powers. He'll wield weapons and magic against massive bosses and explore vast prehistoric worlds. Lands.
is that the
Okay.
raccoon? Is that the raccoon with the one that's friends with the coon?
With the what? What? The raccoon?
That- what the hell
Black
is it? It's the raccoon, right? It's the raccoon, the gray one with
Black Cooper.
with the blue clothes or something.
Oh, I think you are talking about Sly Cooper.
Yeah, that guess. That's my guess.
That's your
Pass.
guess?
Okay, literally, literally the first words out of your mouth, you were like, "Oh, dinosaurs." I was like, "Nope." Mm-mm.
You know,
The only dinosaurs I want to know is Dino Crisis. That's it. Nope. I'm gonna pass on that one again.
What makes the dinosaurs from Dino Crisis so appealing?
It's not even because of the dinosaurs. It's just because Dino Crisis is literally it's like a Resident Evil game basically.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
instead of zombies, it's dinosaurs.
Right.
So it's not even because of that. It's just literally because it's a survival horror game.
So dinosaurs is you're out. You're out on.
Dinosaurs, yep, I'm out.
Okay.
Mm-mm,
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm out, chief. And I think it's the damn coon. It's that damn coon.
It's Tom Nook. I got you.
Yes, it's Tom Nook.
Okay, so um, I think I know what game it is.
Yeah, I think I revealed
I'm
too
pretty
much
sure.
for Luigi. He's too smart.
I'm
He's
pretty
too
sure I know what.
knowledgeable.
And basing it off of what I think the game is, it is like an adventure game, and so I'll play it. I'll play it.
I revealed too much for Luigi. I think he knows what it is.
well, I think I know what it is too.
Okay,
Okay.
let's hear it. Come on, come on, come on. What are your guesses? I want to see.
I think it's Star Fox.
Star Fox Adventure.
Star Fox Adventure. Um, and I would play it.
There's
Um,
dinosaurs in Star Fox Adventures?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an island, no? But anyways, yeah, I would play it based on my guess. I would play it.
Yeah, you guys
So
are
what is
right.
it?
It's Star Fox Adventures. It's Star Fox Adventures.
Yep, I would definitely not play that either.
Literally the only Star Fox game that's not a Star Fox game. It's an advent. It's a Zelda game with dinosaurs.
How dare you? How dare you?
Mm. Well,
Yeah, you clear your throat because you know what you did wrong just now.
it's my childhood. I had to bring it into the fold.
No, how dare you compare it to Zelda? How could you?
They brought.
Disgusting.
All right, I won't talk about it anymore. But they did borrow a lot of stuff from Zelda though.
No, stop. Just stop. You're digging yourself in. You're just
It
digging
came
your
out
grave
it
even
came out
deeper.
right after Ocarina of Time, so they had Ocarina of Time
I
inspiration.
don't care.
Okay.
It's not a Zelda game. How dare you? How dare you even put it in the same class?
It came out on Nintendo system.
So, so did Bayonetta. Are you gonna tell me
Mia,
Bayonetta is also a Zelda game?
but that's a whole different genre. Miyamoto was okay with this game.
Negative.
Okay. Well,
Negative.
all right. Well, I got two plays and one pass, so I'll take it. All right. Well, for better or worse,
On
that
that
brings
note,
us to the end of the podcast. All right. We we are Road Jump Media. We are across different social media sites. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. What else? What else have we got? We got a couple others, but any social media you can think of, we're probably on it. So just go ahead and look it up, Roll Jump Media. We also stream pretty frequently. So we stick to around once a week, but it varies depending on what happens. So you can see us on there. And yeah, thanks for joining us. And if you want to follow us on social media, you may, and we'll be happy to have you. Thank you to my panelists for joining us on this podcast. Uh, it was it was a good one. It was a good one. Thanks for joining me, guys.
no problem. Thank
All
you for
right,
watching
all right.
or
Thanks for
hearing or
watching.
listening.
Thank you for watching, everybody. See you next time.